Why would we start streaming now?
I don't know. You told me you stream now. Was I not supposed
But
to
I
do that?
hadn't
Wait,
hit
did I mess up?
the thing yet.
I can restart. I can turn it off.
You can turn it off. Oh. So how's it going, Dom?
It's not too bad. How's it going with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's worse.
Yeah, 2020. That happened.
Yeah.
Did it? I've been trying to forget.
Yeah, I hear. I don't have really any memories from it, but like I know that people have said that that's what happened.
I mean, considering it's 2021 now.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then there
one
was
can assume,
2019
I guess.
back when we kind of remember. It makes sense there would be a 2020 in there.
All of the countermeasures
I'm still not
to Calamity
convinced.
Ganon were in place, except one. The princess had not.
All
yet
I know is that
awakened her sealing power.
Occasionally, in the middle of the night,
Her kingdom's
I have
destruction,
shivers and
Zelda resolved to trade
night fevers and stuff. So
Yeah, really the only thing I know about 2020 happened, or the only proof I have that 2020 happened is sometimes when I write the date, I put 2020 instead of 2021.
where the spring of wisdom lay, as they lacked the
the only
spring's
proof I
namesake.
have is when I stand on a scale,
Zelda made
I'm like
plans
twice the
to
weight I
ascend
was in
as
2019.
soon
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say it says 2020, and I was just like, damn, John.
Knowing that this would be the day of Calamity Ganon's revival,
No.
King Rome
I have the same
urged his
proof as John
people
was
to
mentioning.
evacuate. He deployed the four
None of my work
divines
clothes fit
to
properly.
quell the horrors of the calamity until Zelda returned.
I'm getting
Welcome.
a lot of badoops from other channels. It's getting annoying. They need to shut up.
I have them set to not be dupe.
Yeah, I usually do too.
I have most channels set to not be dupe.
I have most channels set up to not Padoop. I think like GG is even set up to not Padoop, except for certain channels on there. So that I can still join like normal chat or like our business type stuff and still see that, but not necessarily for like crafts. Because I don't need that to Padoop
Yeah.
while I'm trying to like do stuff.
I have a lot of the normal chat set to not be dupe because it seems like half the time everyone else wants to talk is when I'm in the middle of an absolute rush at work and my phone's just like I'm like, who is dying?
Yeah. So, we're starved, so we just had some,
Oh,
red
we're
velvet
starved?
cupcakes.
Is that a prequel to Starve Together? Or Don't Starve? Or
Yeah, Don't Starve Together. The sequel is just We Starved.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to make
So many
some
are
red
waiting
velvet
my
cake,
power.
or red velvet cupcakes,
Believing
because
in me.
cupcakes are better.
This
But
is
I
my
wanted to
last
make the
chance.
traditional version, and it's really, really freaking hard to find an actual recipe that teaches the original version. Pierre, why are you here?
I'm making my breakfast, my wife lunch for tomorrow, and I figured I'd join you guys for company. Just be
Okay.
talkative.
Yeah, that works.
So, I made the original red velvet cake, and it's real hard because, like, modern day red velvet cake is just
Something must have happened.
chocolate cake with red food color. That's it.
Huh.
I mean, like, pretty much the way to make red velvet cake nowadays is you take chocolate cake and you put enough food coloring in it, red food coloring in it, to stain your shit red, and then you've got red velvet cake.
And that's why it tastes different. The food coloring is the extra flavor.
But it's based off of that because originally, but before then, Guy had gone to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel and they had their famous red velvet cake, which used ground up beets to make it red. And the reason why that's not a good idea is because then the cake tastes like beets. And I don't know about you, but I don't like beet cake.
Ooh, beets for dessert.
I don't even
Yeah.
like beet soup.
So like, a guy went there and was like, "Hey, I'd rather just have red cake that wasn't beet flavored." So since he happened to own a food coloring company, he made a box mix of red velvet cake.
I was like, since he happened to own.
The world has never gone back.
And then before even that, because that red velvet cake was mixed with beets, because they couldn't make real red velvet cake anymore, because they changed the way they processed cocoa a long time ago. Most cocoa nowadays is Dutched or Dutch processed.
No, Dutch is
and
that's a type of pizza. It's not.
it's alkalized.
No, that's a type of battery. I really hope
Cocoa,
it's not.
cocoa by nature is acidic, so they alkalized it so that it was easier to deal with, didn't mess with ingredients at all.
Okay,
And-
so I've decided that it's time to start a new horrible thing that people believe, like conspiracy theory. And now that you've said that it is both alkalized and
Dutch.
acidic, those are both battery related. So I think chocolate is
cocoa
made out
is
of
just-
batteries.
How very based of you.
One day I'll know what that means.
So because it's alkalized, it's rendered inert. But before, when it was acidic, because acids and bases interact and chemical reactions happen, one of the things that would happen to the cocoa when it was used in a recipe that, for instance, velvet cake means that it is buttermilk and baking soda is the way velvet cakes rise.
That is.
So since it has acids in it, it takes the cocoa and it alters the color to be redder. So red velvet cake used to just be the fact that the cocoa changed colors because of the acidity. And then even before that, there's another red velvet cake, which is just velvet cake that uses red sugar, which we now call brown sugar. And it's really freaking hard to find any recipes for anything.
Wait, why was brown sugar ever called red sugar? It does not look red.
I mean, it's red-ish.
Not really. Like, it's as red as... Okay, it is as red as my hair is, which is that under certain lights, it has a hint. But if somebody looked at it ever, they would say, "Oh, that's brown."
Here's the thing: do you want to call it poopy brown sugar, or do you want to call it red sugar?
The first one.
Of course you do.
And this is
It's
why
more
you're not a
accurate.
chef.
No, it's
It uses light brown sugar, by the way, which is not
Not even
that
close.
brown.
Yeah.
But it's also not red, it's still brown.
Yeah, thank you for being with me on this one, Kristin.
Yeah, I happen to agree with you on this one.
It's like when I see people say like is it red cabbage that's like super purple, or is it the other way around? It's that one
Red
or
cabbage.
grapes, and I can
Red
never remember which. Like both of them sound
Well, I
wrong
mean,
to me.
both of them.
Yeah.
Red grapes are purple-y.
Yeah.
They are redder
almost
than
violet.
like
It's a little
Concord
bit
grapes.
Yeah.
But yes, purple. Red cabbage and purple cabbage are interchangeable terms for the same thing.
Yeah. But I'm just like,
People do call it purple cabbage, and they are correct.
I'm a lot more okay with calling red grapes than with calling green grapes white grapes because
Okay, yeah.
they are
Okay.
so obviously
yes,
green.
thank you. That's the best example we could have pulled. Thank you for that. Yeah. Anyone
they're
who's
green.
looked at green grapes and they're like, oh yeah, white grapes, and then you're just like, are
No,
you
you're wrong.
colorblind?
You're evil.
That's not. that
Maybe they
color.
were.
I've
Here's
seen
what-
actual white grapes before, but most of them are green. Yeah.
You know, I
was gonna say,
do love the idea
That's
that.
technically
the
part of the
person-
red-green colorblindness.
I mean, I just love the idea that whoever named them were colorblind and it's just fucked it up for everyone. Did you know that apparently the whole reason that we think like Neanderthals are like hunched over is because apparently the first skeleton we found of that time period had arthritis. So we just assumed all of them looked like that until we looked at it for a while. We're like, oh well, it's already we've already decided what that looks like.
What's also crazy is like older like jaws actually show better development of the jaw than they do now, and that's because we're slowly pugifying ourselves.
It doesn't help too that we use forks, which are apparently bad to use.
Well, it's more of we eat softer foods than them,
Also that.
where they would eat like tougher and like they'd have to chew and use more of their
So
jaw
you're saying
muscles.
we need more beef jerky in our diet.
Yes. If you started off eating more beef jerky, you'd have a stronger jawline.
And if you go through your life using like chopsticks more than forks, you will probably have less need for braces because you will not have an underbite. That is apparently a real thing. I hate it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, when your kid's teething, just give them a piece of leather to gnaw on.
I mean,
Sure. Why not? Hi, art lady.
Hey,
All right, so Dominic, you know your old segment where you find stupid subreddits that shouldn't exist.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting I had that one.
Have you found any?
No.
I keep waiting for the second riddle.
Yeah,
Because you told us you had two
I actually
prepped,
thought
and I
about.
was not satisfied with the first one.
Oh, you didn't like
I
that
have to
one?
give birth to a subreddit.
No, I liked it. I was disgusted by it.
Yeah, I mean that was the entire point of it.
But that was the point. So.
I do want to like I keep thinking about riddles every now and then and be like, oh, I need to like find one and or figure one out because like I hate that I came up with that first one, and it makes me just angry.
So I've found a few
Oh, good.
Subreddits that shouldn't exist.
subreddits that I don't
Like, are
understand
confusing.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why does this exist? And number one on my list is r/I didn't have eggs.
So you use blood?
And
My first thought when you said that.
no, it's a subreddit for reviews by people who don't follow a recipe and then complain that it sucks.
Oh, I love these.
Ah,
Gosh.
This is the
Yeah,
like I didn't have blank, so I substituted blank, and we didn't like this, so I substituted cream cheese, and we didn't have crab, so I just used butter. It was bad. And we were just like,
Yeah.
5 stars. I substituted every single ingredient and loved it.
yeah.
But
5 stars.
What about the
useless review.
recipe?
Yeah, 5 stars. I actually stopped making this recipe halfway through and ordered a pizza. It was really good.
Five stars. This was pretty close. I omitted the butter and added another 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. My boyfriend was surprised and just asked me to hand him the bowl in a spoon. Smiley faces.
What was that on?
What was the recipe for?
I don't know. It
You substituted butter for more peanut butter.
no, other way around.
Oh,
They-
peanut butter with more butter.
the
How
only
about-
thing I can
let's
possibly
start.
think of where that might turn out well is peanut butter cookies.
I don't think you can add that much butter to cookies.
I don't think you can take the peanut butter out of the peanut butter cookie.
Yeah.
All right.
No, this was replacing butter with more peanut butter,
Okay,
right?
I think if
Yes.
you take...
As in, there was already peanut butter in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that does not sound like it would be good. I think when you have double the amount of peanut butter in a peanut butter cookie, it is not really a cookie anymore.
But it is very edible with a bowl and spoon.
I was about to say, when you take the butter out and replace it with peanut butter and still add peanut butter to it, that's just a mess.
All right. 1 star. Way, way, way too lemony and not good at all. I don't understand why people are leaving 5-star reviews. I have the worst heartburn from all the lemon, and the recipe made my kitchen a huge mess. I got so frustrated, I yelled at my boyfriend for no reason. 1 star.
I like how they didn't even like say that they didn't follow the recipe. They're just bad at cooking.
Yeah. Oh, I like
Okay,
this one.
if lemon leaves your kitchen a mess, you did something wrong.
Yeah, how many lemons did you use?
Yeah. the title of this is, I don't think you can blame your messiness and anger problems on the recipe.
Yeah.
Charles says, 4 stars. I think it'll work and taste good.
I think
he hasn't
it'll
even
work
read it
and
yet?
taste good.
Oh, this one's great. 1 star. These are great. I didn't have to change a thing in this recipe. Just perfect. Thanks for sharing.
1 star?
I've seen that happen before as well, where people review something with like really low and they only say good things about it, and I think like I'm assuming that they misclick or something.
Must be.
Because it's so funny when they're like, God, this is the like best food I've ever tasted. I'm gonna be making this again next weekend. Half star. And you're just like, oh.
Sounds like the Destiny 2 Steam page.
Yeah.
No, the Destiny 2, it's the other way around. This is the stupidest game I have ever played. 5 stars.
Would not recommend. Hate this game. 8,000 hours on it.
Oh, I mean, that's like a lot of games. Like, I've played like many games in my life that I'm like, I would never recommend this to any of my friends. I love it. I guess it's a lot of anime I watch, huh?
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really speak on anime taste. I've watched too many. Actually, I'd probably be the golden boy for anime taste.
Yeah, but you watch good anime.
I don't know about that.
Yes,
When
yeah.
you've watched as much anime as I have, it's hard to believe that all of it is good.
Yeah, but you
Alright,
watch
I-
as much anime as I have, you understand that really almost none of it is good, and that's why you enjoy it.
Alright.
As they
I
call
went
it,
to
the
top
enlightenment.
all time. And the top all time is 1 star. We will not try this again. I put 1/2 cup instead of 1 cup of coconut pecans, pineapple, raisins, and put 3 cups of carrots instead of 2, thus balancing out the missing halves of those extras. Regardless, the cake like bread pudding wet inside did not have cake texture whatsoever. Of course not.
Pudding.
You took out 2 cups worth of mostly dry things and put in an extra cup of water.
Yeah,
That's what carrots are.
Well, yeah, but to balance it out.
Alright, Our Lady has redeemed Drop It. You need to drop your weapon.
I can't.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's a thing in this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna refund you those points, because I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that's like similar. I guess I could use up a bunch of staff uses.
No, I went ahead and refunded
Okay,
it. It's
cool.
fine.
So I found here a list of the top food crimes in 2020 that were actual crimes.
Oh, good. Like someone like assaulting someone with a cake.
Things like that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Top item on this list, 92 beehives stolen in California.
I don't know if a beehive is food, but
Yeah, it's not food.
I guess they stole the honey also.
But yeah, that's different.
Thief busted for stolen cheese after weeks hiding out in grocery store rafters.
That's impressive. Actually, I don't know. If I saw someone hiding out in the rafters at the supermarket, I probably just wouldn't say anything.
I don't know. I encountered someone at the supermarket who thought that the supermarket was their pantry, came in multiple times a day, just grabbed stuff and left.
Multiple times in the same day.
Yeah.
In the
That's
same
the
location.
important thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how long did it take before someone got them?
Like Well, depends on what you mean by got them.
I mean, like, did they only
turned
do it
out
for
to
one
be
day?
a government employee, so we just called the police, and everything is resolved already, and this was earlier this week. Turns out, if you're gonna just casually commit crimes, you shouldn't do it in a government vehicle.
A very traceable.
Incredibly traceable.
That's wild.
Thieves tunnel into a wine cellar and steal $200,000 worth of wine.
Oh, that could just be too hot.
That's
Also,
true.
No.
these aren't.
It was only 50
Crimes.
bottles.
I disagree. These are not crimes committed with food. These are crimes committed that somehow involve food.
Yeah.
I
What
want
about-
They're...
someone punched someone to death with the pie.
Oh, I want
Like-
someone creates a block of cheese large enough to roll down, like, a road in California and, like, killed 4 people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
How
that's
about-
what we're looking for. Not like, you know, someone went to the grocery store and stole some food. We get that literally every day we go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just these are the really good headlines about it. Things like axe-wielding man steals box of donuts. He broke into a donut shop with an axe and threatened everyone with an axe, and the only thing he walked out with was a box of donuts.
I mean, sometimes you gotta get your donut fix. You ever been, like, jonesing for a good glazed?
So anyways, I wasn't actually done with my subreddits that shouldn't exist. I've been saving these up for a bit.
But I wanted
Okay.
to talk about the Oklahoma woman linked with home break-in after Cheetos residue found on her teeth.
Okay, that one's good, actually. I do appreciate that they got someone because of Cheeto residue. That's better than fingerprinting.
All right. My next one is r/shitty ask sci-fi.
Oh,
boy.
I've seen that one.
Ever wondered where the Doctor got his medical degree from? Or how many Orion slave girls Captain Kirk has slept with? Then you're in the right place, because the expert science fictionologists at r/shitty ask sci-fi are here to answer your every sci-fi question. And over 3,000 members and daily posts.
Wild.
And the top post of all time is from 15 days ago, and it has 160 upvotes.
Oh
What
boy.
is it?
Go now.
And that's not much.
You
No, it's
are
not.
the knight to Princess Zelda.
If the Terminators are disguised as a person so he could blend in,
Trust.
why do they always choose to look like a world-class bodybuilder with an incomprehensible accent?
I've decided the answer to that is because when you see that kind of person, you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna look away and not deal with that situation.
It's true.
And then they pull out, like, Terminator bullshit, and you're like, yeah, I definitely made the right call on that.
My daughter. Protect her.
Yep. Alright, so I found that one. I thought that was kind of ridiculous, but here's this one that has 2 posts today already.
Okay,
then
so that's somewhat
last
accurate.
one was 3 days ago, then 6 days ago, and 10 days ago. So pretty regular. 589 members. And this is r/blue discs.
Blue discs?
Yep, blue discs. It is a fan subreddit for the concept of having a blue frisbee.
And it had
People
posts
on the
today.
subreddit collect blue frisbees. They show off their collections of blue frisbees. If they see one in the wild, they'll snap a picture of it and post it on there.
God, I gotta get in on this.
Because this is r/blue discs. That's all it is. There's
Okay.
nothing else.
Can you do me a favor? Can you see if there's, like, any other, like, green discs or red disc or anything like that? Because I would love to go to one of those Reddits download all of their pictures and then just like Photoshop them to look blue, and see how long it takes for them to notice?
I doubt it.
I mean, I doubt that
normally
there's
I
a
would-
fucking blue disc subreddit, but clearly that exists.
All of Hyrule. My
Well,
friend.
there's an r/green discs that has a single post ever,
It's my fault.
and it's
Grab it, Photoshop it, post it to Blue.
it's
Why won't you
it's
make it
not a picture.
Oh. No.
It's a pinned post by the moderators to the r/green discs lounge.
Everything.
I think it was just made, and yep, there's red discs, same thing.
Ultimately, all of it was for naught.
Is there just red, blue, and green?
I'm looking.
I really hope there's like r/mauve discs.
R/opalescent discs.
Yellow discs also has a single post.
Oh god, you know what would be a really great fucking...
Oh, allies! Show your love for this is yellow discs. About community. Show your love for the best color discs in all of disc golf. Display your yellowest discs and prove their superiority. Allies with r/orange discs, neutral to r/pink discs, and enemy to r/blue discs.
We
Speaking of, pink
All
discs,
is not lost. We can still do something.
has some posts.
Come on.
It has any posts in it.
John, I have an idea for a product that I think would be the best. So you know how frisbees are incredibly visible? What if they were
Yeah.
clear?
Excellent.
And you just threw it, and then it's gone.
Yeah, well, like,
Forever.
you throw it and you can see like it move because you know anything clear like that you can still see like movement because of like refraction and everything. But like, can you imagine trying to figure out the depth perception while you're attempting to catch that thing? And so like
I
you gotta
just
put
want to
your
watch an
hands up.
entire game of Ultimate Frisbee with this.
Yeah. So you just like gotta put your hands up to catch it and it's already slipped through and smacked you in the face.
Yes. I said watch, not play.
Yeah. Honestly, there is nothing better than like watching someone go to catch a frisbee and they've just barely misjudged it and absolutely like gotten smacked in the face with it at like max speed.
So let me look up brown because orange, pink, and blue are the only ones that have anything. Black discs exists. It's got posts. Those are sleek.
Ooh.
White discs is a thing. Why is my main question.
Why white discs is a thing?
No. Why any of these are
Oh
a
yes,
fucking thing?
100%. I have already lost my mind about them.
Sorry, move discs does not exist. Purple discs though, it exists,
It's live? Or
and
it's
it's
active?
live.
Nice.
I don't know that it's active. 4 days ago, hey, that's, you know, that's a thing.
I've grown stronger.
So there you go. That was the main.
I mean, I love it. That's perfect. That is, I'm so glad it exists.
That is exactly, I feel, what your thing was talking about.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Like that's just the weirdest possible shit.
Oh, rather
Um,
impressive feat.
So did y'all hear about the newest Paper Mario speed run?
No.
Do tell.
It cut the game in half.
Okay,
It
so
went from like 2 hours to like 50 minutes or something.
I can cut the game in half with a pair of scissors in like 3 seconds. That's
Like 48 of those minutes are actually spent playing The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
like actually,
Legitimately, you start your speed run for Paper Mario by opening, like you get to a point where you get your hammer, you save the game.
Which paper is this?
Close
Original
the
Paper
game.
Mario?
Thousand Year Door.
Oh, one of my favorites.
So yeah, you get to the point where you have a hammer, you save the game, you close the game, pull it out, put Ocarina of Time in. You play for about 48 minutes in Ocarina of Time, doing. They broke Ocarina of Time wide open the
100%.
last couple years, where you can do code execution.
Yeah,
And-
thing to be able to do.
Yeah, so you play 48 minutes of Legend of Zelda, doing code execution, which gets saved on the expansion pack. And most games, like in fact Ocarina of Time itself, are designed well enough so that when you start the game, it wipes all the active memory on everything just to start everything fresh.
Yeah, it blasts your cache.
Yeah, well, Thousand Year Door doesn't. So you set up the code in Ocarina of Time, and then you have approximately like 1.5 seconds to turn off the game, rip out the cartridge, put the new cartridge in, and turn the game back on, during which an expansion pack maintains residual energy. And you save that and go into it, and you do some precise hammering on the ground, and then you win. You're at the credits.
Who?
I don't think that was accurate that it's Thousand Year Door though, because that one came out on the GameCube, and Paper Mario came out on N64.
Oh, that's true.
What? This is what I had read though. Damn.
Maybe someone ported Thousand Year Door to a cartridge.
That would be ridiculous. The memory capacity limits.
Maybe they got it wrong.
Maybe they wrote it down wrong.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I'll do some research on
That's
that.
like, it's just, how do they find these things? Like, the person that found the speed for one of the games was playing it with the console on the hot plate to keep it at a certain temperature.
That's
Like,
one of my
how do
favorites.
you...
Okay, this one makes a little bit of sense.
Cross-dimensional
If you
jumping in Mario.
start with the assumption or with the knowledge that Thousand Year Door does not clear the cache, then you can work backwards from that to find a different game that gives you the right code to speedrun it.
It's just still wild because you're just like, what could possibly have made you be like, oh, I should definitely figure out what other game I can play.
That sounds like some electrical engineering or some computer engineering. Someone who's got a degree that's just going to waste.
I would not call this a waste.
Well, it's more of like they definitely got an engineering degree for a different reason than to be speedrunning Paper Mario via a like electrical glitch.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why I went to college.
Do you guys know about the infamous trick that
Yeah, they did it wrong. It's the original Paper Mario.
Okay. Do you guys know about the infamous trick from Super Mario 64 that couldn't be replicated no matter how hard people tried?
Was that about like doing a double jump within a certain area of like the clockwork one?
Yes, and so someone basically did a jump and then like it just teleported them, like way too high up, and it was like no one knew how, and like one of the speedrunners like put a
Bounty, yeah.
yeah, bounty on it for like $1,000 or something to like if anyone could figure out how to replicate it.
Yeah, they tried to get pre-programmed bots to try and do it, and kept trying to do everything they could to replicate, because they even had it recorded.
Yeah.
But like, no one could prove it.
At least they had it recorded, so it like is known that it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good news is we figured out how it works. Or
Oh, no.
specifically, what happened. Apparently a particle from space happened to bombard his fucking N64
What?
at the right time and teleported him upwards.
So you're saying he
What the
he
fuck?
suffered from space radiation that caused his game to freak out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild.
It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So like, it is
Why
impossible.
do we want the ozone again?
So it's like impossible to replicate because like, how do you fucking get particles from space to hit your game at the right
A line,
second?
yeah. Put
That's
your
crazy.
like console in the Hadron Collider.
Right? I need to like look it up and see if that's like 100% confirmed because like I remember reading it somewhere and I was just like, this sounds absurd, but I can also see it being the case, especially with how it hasn't been replicated.
Unnatural. Completely unnatural.
Like
Alright, so it took me a bit to find this. It is not currently on speedrun.com. They're probably creating a new
category.
category for it because I mean,
You know, Ocarina of Time percent
yeah.
on Paper
But
Mario.
he does have a video of it. The current top speed run for any percent, which allows glitches and anything, it's just reach the credits. Is 1 hour and 39 minutes 26 seconds, and his one is 54 minutes 22 seconds.
So in other words, the community moderators for this specific type of run needs to curate whether or not this is something that falls in within the glitch run.
Yeah, 'cause like his is actually 6th. He's the 6th best player.
Yeah.
Except technically, I guess, first best.
Because here's the thing: is like,
It all depends on how they choose to rule it.
because like I can understand that that is not a, like that is not technically a part of that run because you're not using a glitch, you're using a different game. So,
It almost qualifies as like using modified
Okay,
external equipment to modify it.
yeah.
Here's the thing
It's a hot plate,
I
though.
will argue with it though. It does exploit a glitch in Paper Mario,
Yes.
which is the fact that it doesn't wipe the cache.
Yeah.
That is
what the
most
very
argument
games
clearly a
is.
design
do.
choice on the part of the engineers.
Yeah, but my point is that
That's-
it requires you to play a separate game, and as far as I know,
Yeah.
speedruns traditionally don't use other games as part of one game. Now, I still think it
No,
is
I
a
think
valid
this is the
speedrun.
first.
I just think it needs to be a category, because otherwise it just
Yeah, no.
destroys everything.
I'm not sure I'd call this a glitch per se. It's more of an exploit.
Also, I was still looking things up, so I didn't want to get distracted. But you were talking about using the LHC to bombard it with particles. I'm sorry, that wouldn't be allowed. That's a tool-assisted speedrun. Which I love the fact that it's like, oh yeah, I have a tool-assisted speedrun. Oh, so you use like a software to help you get through it. No, I use the fucking LHC.
Ocarina of Time.
Well, in that case, wouldn't Ocarina of Time count as a tool-assisted speedrun for this?
And every game except Paper Mario, like, blasts it
No,
data
well,
from, like, the
I'd
game
argue no.
To like restart everything, but Paper Mario doesn't. So you're basically creating the correct data to just.
You're using something outside the game to create
I mean, you got
conditions
the
that
credits.
then influence
Like,
the course of the game.
I feel like that's cheating.
Yeah, we're just talking about now. Like, is that a new category?
I don't know.
Because it's.
You're basically modifying your save file.
Yeah, I love that you're modifying your save file using a different game. It's a save editor. It's just the save editor is called Ocarina of Time.
I mean, because it's not editing the save. It puts the code into memory. You still have to execute that code with very precise, like, hammer bashes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like you plug Paper Mario in and you instantly win. It's still a bunch of extra work. But
You have to specifically hit areas with the hammer, right?
Yeah, like the code's there to do it, but you can't access it unless you do very, very, very incredibly precise things. So,
Yeah, it's still super skilled, which is what the best part about it is. It's just wild.
Just a scratch.
Also, does that mean the hot plate thing is also a tool-assisted speedrun?
Yes.
What about when the particle hit?
That's what we were talking about. John said that. So we were like, how do you replicate that? Tim's like, you can use the Large Hadron Collider, and John's like, that's tool-assisted.
alright, that's basically everything I've got saved. Unless Kristin wants to force awful music on you.
Lady Armasa.
They just like skipped this.
The tree song.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
This is a new
Eh.
file, right?
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Was that the one
For
listed?
now, let
I
us
guess
focus
so.
on winning this fight.
But you can pick in any order.
Right. Yeah, the other one was much more like, oh no.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Stephanie!
Sounds like high.
Uh,
So I picked this quest because I want to show you the actual wildest character that you get, like, through the story.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten to them yet, but it is interesting. Wildly uncontrollable. Possibly the hardest character to play. Certainly
Okay.
one of.
Oh, I went shopping today. I picked up some games from thrift stores and bookstores.
Oh, nice.
Games and movies. So I picked up Halo 3 and Halo 4 because I had most of the other Halos. I got the Uncharted series.
Oh, nice.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. There's only 3, right?
pretty sure.
Maybe.
I got
Wait,
blobs.
no, I think there's a 4.
Damn it. Probably
Yeah,
not
Thief's End.
PS3 then.
That's PS5.
Shit, see. Yeah. I'll never play that.
You
I
will
got
in
blobs.
5 years.
10. Oh, maybe 15? Because it's PS5 right now.
Oh yeah, that's the point. And PS4 was what, 2013?
Jeez, was it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
10
get
years.
I'll get a PS4 in like 5 years.
Damn, that was 8 years ago.
PS5 I won't get for another like 15.
Yeah, but he's not going to get a PS5 as soon as the PS6 comes out.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. I'll get it like 4 or 5 after. I got Call of Duty
4 or
Blobs.
5 more PlayStation.
Depends.
PS10
I
comes
mean-
out. I can finally afford the PS5.
I got Call of Duty Blobs, and I also got the movie, the movie I really needed, which is Mortal Kombat.
I was really hoping you were
the
gonna
original one.
introduce this as a game, just like list it off with your games, and they'll be like, I mean, it's an okay game. And you're like, no, the movie.
I thought John was gonna say he got favorite movie Call of Duty Black Ops, and I was just like, I don't think.
COD Blops is
Kombat.
just fun to say.
It's kind of gross to say too, though.
Yeah.
Flops.
COD Blobs. I like getting cheap games at thrift stores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We went to Second and Garlic today and like looked around at all the games and stuff and like got some manga and stuff.
Nice. I've
Ever-
never been there, but
Oh, it's fun.
I mean to, because
Yeah.
I need to sell them some N64 games.
They have
Yeah.
Atari games too.
Yeah.
And they have like some NES games for like $45.
We need to go there, but like when we have budget again, because these were cheap games, but we got quite a bit of them.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like
Yeah.
they're also like they're not actually usually that expensive. It was just some of those games end up being expensive because they're like harder to get.
Yeah.
Like Mario Golf apparently, which was just called Garth Golf.
Garf
Garf?
Golf.
Darth?
Marf Garf. No, wait, that would be
I
Fire Emblem Golf.
have 4. Technically, I have 5 Atari games. Just one of them is for the 5200. And I don't have a 5200.
Which one do you have? 28?
Yeah, or 2600.
26. Okay.
No, I got
Nintendo only had
Joust.
64. You've got 2600.
Yeah. I got Joust. I got volleyball. I got Centipede, and I got E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Good.
Oh boy.
But do you does the volleyball game you have a prequel to Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball?
Yes. All volleyball games are a precursor to the one true volleyball game.
I would really love if they were just an Atari. Dead or
Sonic
Alive.
and Mario at the
Sonic and
Summer
Mario.
Olympics.
It's so good.
It doesn't count unless you can put them in a bikini. Yes, Mario
I
and
am not
Sonic.
certain
In a
that's
bikini,
not an
now.
option.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's possible.
No, I don't mean
Christian.
Mario in a bikini and also Sonic in a bikini. The two of them, standing on each other's shoulders, each wearing one piece of a two-piece bikini.
That'd be weird because Sonic would be wearing any amount of clothes and that would make him look weird.
Yes. Speaking of, I still need to see that movie.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
What? Super Mario Brothers? No.
Mario Brothers isn't a movie. There was never a Super Mario Brothers movie. There's a TV
There's
show.
a
that
television
was pretty
show. It put lyrics to the song.
Oh, maybe.
good. Ooh, if it's on Prime, we might watch it later tonight.
So I've just
Wait,
put a thing in the Twitch
Sonic?
chat, and I apologize.
I mean, I think John knew it was an actual movie. I think he's just ignoring its existence.
Did y'all hear about the Zelda news? Zelda
Um,
TV show news?
Wait, say again?
There was going to be a new Zelda TV show on Netflix. There was,
What? Why did it get
but
canceled?
Nintendo was playing it real close to their chest, and some fucking idiot at Netflix blabbed about it, and Nintendo was like, yeah, if y'all are gonna be like this, no, we're not gonna do this.
I hate that
And they
so
just
much.
canceled literally everything. There were people who had contracts and stuff, and they're like, nope.
Alright, I understand Nintendo playing stuff close to the chest, but like, I am so, like, Nintendo annoys me with like, how they do that sometimes.
But yeah, I cannot believe Netflix was just like, oh, yep, well, I guess we've just ruined this for everyone else. Sorry.
Man, I would have loved it, because I just want to hear Link say, fucking, excuse me, princess, one time, as just a reference.
Excuse me, Prince. Yeah, that would be. They would have to, I feel like.
Yeah.
It went a little further than just being just like the word getting out about the movie. It was the fact that most media sites were, when people were talking about it, they were talking about it negatively because they had low expectations for what Netflix was going to produce, which is why Nintendo pulled out, because they were like, well, if everyone says it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. No one's going to want to watch it.
That's
But then we
stupid,
had
though, 'cause
Sonic the Hedgehog that came out and kind of changed the game, so
Like, that's
just
dumb because,
fell
like,
apart at the worst time.
any news source that says something's gonna be like bad is like very potentially saying that because they know it'll get people to read their articles, not because they think it'll be bad.
Well, it wasn't
Oh,
just that,
almost
it was, like, Twitter and Facebook and all of Reddit just trashing on it because, frankly, video game movies before like this past like 2 years have always been
Name
bad
one
movies.
good, actually good video game movie.
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't either, but I heard it is very good.
Technical paths, because it's not like actually a game though.
What? Yeah, Detective Pikachu is a game.
It,
Yeah,
oh.
there's this Detective
Yeah.
Pikachu game.
It is.
Oh, apparently Stephanie just said they're making a second movie.
Yeah, they are. They're making a sequel because of the success of the first movie. Oh. Well, they are. I think they were going to make a movie too, but I might be wrong.
I think the
Either
Resident
way.
Evil movie is good because of that one laser scene. I've seen nothing about it. I just know that
But, like, the Resident Evil movies are so unrelated to the game.
yeah.
In fairness, the Resident Evil games are also mostly unrelated to the Resident Evil games.
I don't know, there's at least still the umbrella company that is the overarching theme of this is the evil company that started pretty much the apocalypse.
Until 7.
Until 7.
And then they're good guys?
No, that's the prequel. That house was a testing site before everything kicked off. That was the idea of 7.
No, it was a different company.
Really?
Umbrella reincorporated as a PMC. Which is the weirdest thing that has ever happened in a Resident Evil game.
I don't know my
Chris,
Resident Evil lore
what is his
well
name?
enough.
Chris Redfield works for Umbrella now, as like good guys.
All I know is that the same directors and like same producers that produced the Resident Evil movies tried to produce a Monster Hunter movie, and
God.
it became
The worst.
biggest flop.
Yeah, horrible movie.
You know, there were a few Shrek video games, and I heard the movie was pretty good.
That doesn't count. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
video game has to come first.
yeah.
I just want to sigh from that.
Is there?
I know that
Can
wasn't-
someone
that wasn't
pull up a
intentional.
list of video game movies? Also, bye Candy. Thanks for coming. We should look up just a list of video game movies and just go down the line and see if any of them are good.
I'll do
Doing
that
it
right
now.
Now look who's come to help.
Or maybe I won't, because we don't
Mortal
need two
Kombat.
people doing it.
Oh, Mortal Kombat's were bad, from what I know.
Okay, I'm just gonna run this down the list. Super Mario Brothers actually might have been the very first one. So that didn't start off well.
Street Fighter, I think, is the next one. That's 1994.
The Double Dragon, then Street Fighter.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
It was more forgettable than Street Fighter because it wasn't as bad. It was still really bad, just not as bad. Mortal Kombat, and then Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Which is apparently the one that I have, even though the one I have is just called Mortal Kombat. But it's copyright 1997, so...
Yeah, that's Annihilation.
They just
2%
didn't
Rotten
name it
Tomatoes
Annihilation?
score.
Oh, I don't know. This might just be a new copyright on an old release. Like, on a new release of the same thing. Because, yeah.
Is the cover a bronze dragon, or does it have, like, green
It's a bronze
skin and
dragon,
purple sparks?
The tagline is nothing in this world is prepared you for this, which is the tagline.
Okay, then, yeah, that's the
I mean, to
original.
be fair, that could be the tagline for any video game movie.
Let's see. Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, Tomb Raider.
That's true. Tomb Raider
Yeah.
might be still the best video game movie.
Yeah, because like I don't even know if they're good. I just know that like they're classic anyway somehow.
Yeah. They're great.
I guess it was basically like they didn't like there was nothing about them that are like video gamey except for like that like the character.
House of the Dead,
I
Resident
mean,
Evil Apocalypse. What was that?
name one movie that's video game.
Hitman.
I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Doom.
Is it video gamey? Or
I
is
don't
it just
Well, what
have
I
a
mean is
lot
like,
of...
okay, like the Mario movie, it is video gamey in that like, it is like this very fanciful like video game-esque like thing versus like the Tomb Raider movie, which is just a person who raids tombs.
Doom has an entire
It's-
5-minute section where it's
no.
first person with the protagonist walking around shooting things with a gun while heavy metal plays in the
Well,
background.
that's not the Doom Slayer.
Tomb Raider is not just a person who adventures. She also has to collect-a-thon several things so that she can gain magical fucking powers.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, like, the base concept is not super gamey. Also, here's the...
I don't know, Collectathon is a little bit of a gamey thing.
Yes, but you can ignore the plot. You can ignore the mechanics and make a good plot. Also, this is just this character. She has a seal. That's her weapon.
Okay.
Nice.
It's impossible to control this thing. You can't see shit. I don't know why they made it. It's the best.
Oh, for the record, these are just the live-action movies I'm reading through right now. Let me just read the top one on the animated section. Pokemon, the first movie.
See, those
Okay,
are gonna
those
be
are
good
anime
because
movies.
they're like made by the people who actually make Pokemon stuff.
Like that's an anime movie. That's not a video game movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess they're based on the anime, not the games.
Technically, the game came first, though.
I mean, true, but okay, if Sonic the Hedgehog had an anime and then a movie, you wouldn't necessarily call it a video game movie if it's based solely on like the video or the anime series rather than the games initially.
Sonic did have an anime and then
Sonic
subsequently
did
a
have
movie.
Yes,
animes.
but the movie was not based on the anime. It was based on the games. Be wild if they just ever decided to just go with the Archie comics for the anime or for the movie.
There is a live-action, Japanese-only Ace Attorney movie.
Oh yes, it's so good. I love that movie.
Okay, well then that would be another example of a good live-action video game movie.
Yeah, I like forget it exists because it's so weird. There's a point where the judge goes to like decide someone's fate, but they like they're about to lose, and like right before the gavel hits, someone in the like blue badger outfit from the police station puts his hand in the way, so the judge just like smacks it in the hand, and they just like have like 5 seconds of like silence while everyone just looks at this blue badger in the middle of the courtroom on top of like the judge's like desk.
Huh.
It's actually incredible. Like, it's very campy in the best ways. It's one of those ones where you're like, this isn't 100% faithful to the games, and I'm actually okay with it somehow.
I mean, we all know that the best game-related movie is Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, those were good.
I heard that they're
original
making a new
Dungeons
Dungeons
and
and Dragons movie.
I know they're making new Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's a mistake, though.
Halo Legends
Comes
is
out later
good,
this
but
year, I
it's
think.
it's not really a movie. It's a collection of short films.
Is Ready Player One a video game movie?
No,
It's a movie about a video game. It's not
It
a video
is-
game we can actually play.
It is a video game movie in the same way that Pixels is a video game movie, which is that we don't talk about it.
I haven't seen it,
Wreck
so...
Me
Wreck-It
neither.
Ralph is a video game movie.
I
Oh,
mean, it's after
arguably-
a book.
Wreck-It Ralph is made after a book?
No, we were still talking
Oh.
about.
I thought you were saying Wreck-It Ralph too, and I was
Yep.
just like, what?
I was
Sure,
like,
there's
I
a
wanna read
picture,
that
but
book.
you really
Ready
want
Player
to
One. Ready Player One is
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not a
well,
video
that's-
game.
Nah,
It's-
that's impossible.
It is
It's
a video
about
game
a video
movie
game.
in that it is about video games, yeah. In the same way that Sword Art Online is a video game anime.
It is though.
But it's a video game anime in that it is an anime about video games, but not based on a video game.
Honestly,
I hope.
Sword Art Online is probably the best video game movie that I've seen in years.
That's impressive. Oh, I guess like the movie. I'm thinking about season 2 that
Yeah.
everyone apparently hated.
Oh, the season 2 was kind of garbage. Well, no, season 2 was fine. The second half of season 1,
Yeah,
which
that's
should
what
have
I'm
just
thinking.
been
The
season
second
2.
arc of- Yeah, the second arc of season 1 was garbage. Oh, Alpine. Oh.
Believe me, I know everything about it. Sword Art Online. I've literally seen all of it multiple times,
Oh, Sword Art Online
including
on
the
our
movie,
fucking...
which I saw in theaters.
Alright, fine. Sword
It's
Art
in
Online on our
theaters.
list.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen all of Underworld as well. So
Yeah,
This is
get on my
great.
level. Watch the movie.
I already
John-
know the plot of the movie. I know it's about AR.
John, is Sword Art Online on Deep Divers list?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like it has to be if you know it as well.
But haven't you seen it?
That's what
Oh
the-
no, I have not watched any of it. I avoided it.
Oh, that was a mistake.
I mean, if I've heard anything about the first or second half of the first season, it was not a mistake.
Yeah, but like the first half of the first season is great.
Yeah, but I only have room in my heart for one anime that's not
We're talking about
completed
Sword Art
in
Online.
a good way, and it's because it's not complete yet.
Sword Art
Jonathan
Online
and
is.
I are trying to
in fact,
defend it,
on
but Dominic is throwing
the Deep
part
Divers
2 of
list.
season 1 at us, and it's harder to deny.
Good for you.
It's great because like that's all I have to say I don't like it, and apparently it works even though I'm just like joking about it. But it's every time I'm like, when I heard part 2 or second half of part 1 is bad, and everyone's like, yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Yeah, it's one of those things that once you get past the hump, it like improves exponentially, and it's just, but you still have to deal with character. Like, it's still, you know, the most bare bones slice of cake white bread you can ever get.
Yeah.
I have a similar experience with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in that I haven't seen past a certain episode, and when I explain to people which episode was the last one I saw, they're all like, oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, that's the worst that happens, but I see why you would stop.
I mean, I already know
Wait,
which
wait,
episode
is
you're
it the
talking
dog
about.
or the mother?
Yep.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
you
it's.
know me, and you know what I care about, and you know
Mhm.
what I would bond with, and
Well-
then, oh gosh, not that type of bonding, no.
Ah.
So here's a
Alright,
question.
got it.
Does it count if the game is based on the movie, but the game actually came out first?
Depends. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Tron.
give me the example.
There were Tron arcade cabinets that were pretty popular, and actually, they ended up on the market before the movie did.
But were the
But-
games used as intended as promotional products?
Yeah, I'm gonna call a nope. on this.
Yeah, I think, okay, my definition of a video game movie includes, that when the game was made, there was no movie part of it. Like, the movie has to have been made separately from the game.
Dragon Ball Z side story: plan to eradicate the Saiyans.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna
A
say
movie-
Dragon Ball Z. And I was
No, a
Dragon
movie
Ball.
based on a game based on an anime.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was
That
a...
just
there-
makes me think of the review by Axeman 13 that got dramatized.
Oh man, that one is the best.
That might still be one of my favorite videos of all time.
Oh yeah.
Dot.
So wait, there was a video game about, like, the Bardock saga?
No, this was so what was the name of it?
Uh,
Plan to eradicate
Dragon
the
Ball
Saiyans,
Z
that's
side story: plan to eradicate the Saiyans.
Yeah, it was it is a wild set of like circumstances that led to that. Or like the chain of events that created that.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that it's still probably not a good video game movie.
Oh yeah.
It might count, but it's not
That's
good.
what weird. It might count. I'm not decided yet on that, but I am decided that it wasn't good.
Okay, how about Angry Birds?
Oh man, that
It
happened,
wasn't
huh?
good.
But what about Angry Birds 2?
That
Yeah,
shouldn't
Angry
have-
Birds
Electric.
2 is actually sitting at a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, people have bad taste. Look at me. I bought the Mortal Kombat movie today. Oh, and I had to buy some albums when I got there. So I got the music from Star Wars Episode 1, which is actually good.
Yeah, no,
The Oh
that,
Brother Where Art Thou music, which is pretty good. And a disc of the theme from Star Trek Deep Space Nine because I'm trash.
I really like that you bought an album that has probably nothing in it that matters except for let's see, Duel of Fates and also the one Gungan Victory song.
The Augie's Municipal band.
Yeah, sure.
Augie's Great Municipal Band
Yeah.
and credits.
And there's probably other songs from Star Wars 1, but like, did any song matter besides those two?
At the used bookstore or bookstore price though, Duel of the Fates was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm personally a big fan of the Droid Invasion, track 14. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, those
that
three
song's
songs
good.
are worth it.
Yes. And yet, I can't help but feel that the wind may finally be at our backs.
Keep my mouth shut.
That'll be a first. Oh, snap.
Wonders never cease.
I didn't even know what he said.
Only about keeping his
Because his mouth was shut.
So this is absolutely not a video game movie, but I'm mad that I read the title. Rue the Day, a gourmet detective mystery.
Oh, that's excellent. I love it.
Oh wait, that's actually good.
Yeah.
Oh, tell them about the linguistical food crime of that one recipe. With the cake.
I mean, it wasn't really that interesting. There's a shitty top of cake frosting that used to be made, where basically you cook flour, sugar, and milk on a stove top, and then you mix it in with like a metric fuck ton of butter, and that makes the frosting. And it looks like shitty frosting.
Sounds like
But
bad
the
food.
lady called it a roux, and that's not what a roux is.
No, that's not at all.
Especially not for icing.
Yeah.
You just make the
Like-
roux for your
like-
icing, and you're like, the what?
But yeah.
I probably see a good roux being made into icing,
Really?
but I wouldn't do it that way, considering a roux is fat and flour cooked together, then mix other stuff in. And
Yeah,
this
I was-
was flour, milk, and sugar, and
Well, maybe it was whole milk. That's bad.
It
I don't
sounds like a
I don't
heartier
know
version
what
of
that is.
caramel.
Whole milk?
Yeah, it's basically you're making a shitty caramel, and then mixing it with butter.
Like a million Norlanders just cringed at the idea of that being a roux.
Also, all of Louisiana just cringe.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I was gonna say that too.
Anyone who's
I
gonna
mean, if
cringe
anyone
is
knows their roux,
yeah.
it's Louisiana.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know we've talked about this before, but I really appreciate the fact that you can have combination foods, fusion foods between like Vietnamese and Cajun.
Yeah.
Because they're both based in French cooking. And it just makes me happy. Because those foods are really good.
So how about that Warcraft movie?
There was a Warcraft movie?
There was a Warcraft
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it came out.
Was it like
Yeah.
World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
guess
it was
I
I
kinda
think
remember-
the Warcraft.
Well, actually, I think it was technically Warcraft 3.
Now then,
Yeah.
first, I owe you my gratitude. Thank
Story
you for
wise, it was Warcraft 3.
Is Spy Kids 3D a video game movie?
No. No. Spy Kids
No.
3 is a mistake.
You see. We
No,
could not have
there's
prevailed
no Spy
without
Kids
your
3.
aid.
There's Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah.
What I said! I said 3D.
No, Dom
Ricardo
said Spy Kids
Montalban
3.
had a stand-up role in that.
Who?
All of us fought as one.
Con.
I think Elijah Wood was in it for like 5.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. He
was this
there's-
guy.
He was at least 2 minutes. He was
would've been
that
just
guy.
Yeah,
he was the guy.
Yeah, he was
He was the guy.
He was the guy.
Better that
Because
you
Junie wasn't actually the guy.
Yeah, but he
Yes,
wants to be the guy.
Junie.
Hold on, that's a different video game.
Hold that thought.
See, we've already got 2 video games.
Yeah, it has to be.
Please tell us what happened at Hyrule Castle.
What's that other
Let's
video
see.
game movie?
Assassin's Creed.
Oh no, I was gonna say like The Order 1775 or whatever that had like 2 hours of gameplay and like 10 hours of cutscene and that's it.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that those movies based off of the video game that were all released by Konami?
What?
As in, literally anything Kojima's produced ever.
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
waiting
true.
for it.
I mean, to be fair,
Literally-
some of them are great. Like in Metal Gear Solid 2 Twin Snakes, when he drops his sniper rifle and then does like a backflip and then picks it up and no-scopes somebody from like 1,000 miles away. It's the best scene I've seen in any video game ever. It makes no sense. And
You made a movie.
someone put MLG horns on it. It's very good.
Wait, so was that in a video game or in a movie?
That was in a video
Little
game.
column A, little column B. It's
Yeah.
technically a video
Game
game.
that has a lot of cutscenes?
Yeah.
It makes
It's,
for
it's
a
a
better.
video game that is cutscenes.
It's sad that Konami would never do anything with them to make them actual movies because they would make for really entertaining movies.
Yeah. Well, isn't there gonna be a Metal Gear Solid movie?
Give me a second, I'll.
I
give you a
think there's
result
one
Is
on
it
that.
considered a game because you have to click
Yep.
I
next,
think
or
it's
do you actually
Untitled
do
Metal Gear
anything?
Solid film.
Oh no, it has
I
actual gameplay, but the cutscenes
think it was
are
canceled.
like
Well,
hours long.
I suppose the time
Okay.
has finally come to reveal.
Oh, man.
There is.
Metal Gear
so
Solid
many
has some of
Metal
the
Gear
best stuff in it, though.
movies
My
come
favorite
out.
Metal Gear Solid game is the original.
Wait, no, the Metal Gear Solid movie is definitely still happening. They cast Oscar Isaac
Yep.
Yeah,
with
I see
his
that.
thick ethnic behind.
Keeps alerting the guards.
Thanks. Trying to sneak through this area. Out of the car. I'm having trouble sneaking through this area because the clap of my ass cheeks is alerting the guards to my location.
You've heard David Hayter like say that, right?
Oh yeah, so, like David Hayter like actually did that. He requested dude a quote, and someone asked him to say that out loud, and they paid him for it. And there's an actual clip of that out on the internet. I have to find it.
One of my favorite things like that is the Otacon's voice actor talking about Hatsune Miku.
I'm here to kick gum and chew ass, and I'm all out of ass.
Was there a
Oh,
Duke
this
Nukem movie?
directly
It feels like there
from-
would have been a Duke Nukem movie.
No Duke Nukem movie.
I mean, there shouldn't have ever been one. It feels like something someone would have made.
I agree.
I found it. It was he did the audio. He did that clip for the dummy text.
Yeah.
For one of his good friends' son, which is the only reason he really did that for Solid Snake, which I think is hilarious.
I mean, let's be real though. He also like just would. Like he's actually hilarious.
David
about
Hayter
that.
is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm like sad that there would be a movie without a Metal Gear Solid movie where like Snake isn't portrayed by David Hayter.
Yeah.
Because like his portrayal is just the best.
Who was Snake? Or Vengeance Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5? It wasn't Hayter.
Man, there's too many Snakes.
Yeah,
I need someone
Liquid
to
Snake,
explain
Solid
this to me.
Snake, Vengeance Snake. What was it?
Yeah, I don't remember if this is on Deep Divers, but like I feel like Metal
Keeper
Gear
Solid
should be,
that's what it
because
was.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone actually knows Like, do any of us know that?
No, but I have a friend who very much does. Like, it is his favorite game series, so I might actually have to, like, pull him in. 'Cause it's worth it.
The Deep Divers of Metal Gear?
Yeah.
That is a 5-hour trek that no one is ever prepared for. Not even a simple plot can make it simple.
I need someone to explain this to me.
I think that's what Deep Divers
A
is.
guy named
Persona
Snake
3
goes
movie
out
number
shooting
4.
There was Persona released like or Persona 3, rather than doing a game series or an anime series, they basically released the story in the form of like 4 movies, each one named after like a season, I believe, like spring, summer, fall, or at least like themed.
Yep. This one's Winter of Rebirth.
Yeah, there we go.
Are those any good?
I don't really like Persona 3 a lot, just because, like, the setting, like, I prefer the, like, happier type stuff, and that one's, like, a very depressing, I guess, like, world.
More slice of life.
Yeah. But I have heard they are good. I just, like, I don't know much about 3.
I've never been able to dive deep enough into those hentai-style games to get a feel for them.
Oh, is it because you don't have a 150-hour system?
Or the, like, understanding of, did I just merge 2 units that were good, but it came out with a bad one? Did I do my math wrong?
Yeah. So that is, more in-depth than it really needs to be about a lot of things.
Cool.
I'm never picking up.
That's why I play good games, like Fire Emblem, whatever that Tokyo.
Oh, Tokyo Mirage Session? That one's good.
Yeah.
Epi,
It is really grindy. I got about 20 hours in, and I put it down for some reason, and I just can't get myself to pick it back up again.
I don't think I ever beat it. I got like pretty far into it, and I think I ended up not beating it specifically because I watched my like video. Alright, that was good enough for me.
That's what I do with a lot of games. I just watch it's like, cool, now I know this story. Why would I play it?
Yeah.
I do know the American version apparently censored a lot.
That we've been getting the censored versions of Fire Emblem games for years. Like, the new ones, you just, like, blow on your character or something? I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I still...
Aren't you supposed to be able to, like, massage them or something? It's still weird, but, like, it's a thing. We're getting the censored versions. We want the massage version,
no,
so that we can still not play it and hate it.
I thought the original was that you blow on it because it's supposed to be like kissing.
Oh, see, well, we don't even get that.
Yeah, no, we get.
No, we didn't get that.
We're a bunch of whiny fuckers on Twitter.
Going back a bit to the, David Hager did the voice acting bit.
Yeah.
I really appreciate voice actors that do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's my turn to bring up Destiny 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, I know you were going to talk about
Lance Reddick.
I was really hoping.
Lance Reddick is the voice actor who plays Zavala, basically the head of the Vanguard, and
Lance Reddick.
Thank God I don't remember what any of these words are.
He is a gift to this world.
This season, he starts out with a cutscene where he goes to see one of the Cabal, and they tell him that they want to form an alliance, and then they tell him to bow. And in the original, the actual thing, he just says no, and then they leave. But someone sent him a like redone version of it of like, no, what are you fucking talking about? This is what he should actually say, and then he voice acted it, and it's like, I propose an alliance, bow. Excuse me? One fucking Guardian has been kicking your race's collective ass for 9 years. They kill gods for fun and turn them into guns for a meme. They genocide entire races for loot. They assassinated your last
Found it.
leader, cleaned out your daddy's ship while he wrote fan fiction about them, and promptly fucked off to let you pick up the pieces. The only reason I didn't bring them here is because they casually began wielding the darkness to clap ass in new ways. All I have to do is to make them into you is to tell them you have a fancy new gun, or that Eris can make you into one. So think about that before you tell us to bow to your sorry fucking ass.
Jesus.
But
In fairness, Eris has never made anyone into a gun. She made him a sword.
No, that's incorrect. The greatest LMG of all time, which is also the greatest sniper of all time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Is that Jollarhorn?
No, that's
only 'cause
Xenophage.
Hammerhead got,
Xenophage.
Oh yeah.
Xenophage, a game that
We
has
got-
no damage drop off and fires
sorry.
just anti-material rounds wherever you want them.
It's a full-size machine gun that can snipe things from across the map.
Yeah, it's a full-size machine gun that fires anti-material rounds.
It is a, I think, semi-automatic full-size machine gun.
Powered by a guardian so angry he cannot die, and it was turned into a bug.
We're done yet? Shit, we have 37 more minutes.
John's like, God, I hate streaming. How do I do this?
Fuck. I'm a little hungry. It's been a while since I've eaten my red velvet cupcake.
Oh, my wife did want me to pose a question to you guys. So we can fluff at that for a bit until someone comes up with something. Do you think it would be rude to
Yes.
when we leave this apartment?
Whatever you're about to say, definitely yes.
Probably, but go on.
Leave behind a jar filled with all of the dead roaches we have collected that we've had to kill within this apartment.
It would be
We could
rude, but
easily-
also a nice thing for the next people to know what they're getting into. I think it's rude because at that point they already have the apartment.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Think
fair,
that-
they'll clean the apartment before they rent it out to somebody
Oh, okay.
else.
But you don't think they'll clean the roaches?
They didn't clean them when we got here.
The thing is, I think you might not get your cleaning deposit back if you leave that, even if you leave it in a
just a
very
jar.
clean jar. I know that, but I could see them trying to be petty.
Yeah.
To be fair, they knew when we officially moved into this apartment, and they like offered you have to do like the walkthrough and like confirm like whether or not you approve of the conditions of the apartment, and if you have any issues with something, you write them down. So I made sure one of the top comments was about the roaches, and we've brought up the roaches on multiple occasions, and it still hasn't been taken care of. And so we've taken to drastic measures of multiple different forms of poison scattered across the apartment, and they still continue to appear, to the point that we're ready to just start every time we successfully kill one or two of them, we'll just collect them and put them in a jar. 'Cause when you have to kill 20 roaches in a day, it
Here's
doesn't seem appropriate.
here's what I would do instead, because it's not the people who rent it later's fault. That's what that becomes by doing it. You're being a dick to someone who's it's not
Yeah,
their
but
fault.
they won't see that. They
John,
won't see the jar
here.
of roaches because they will clean the apartment beforehand like they were supposed to with ours.
No,
before
Pierre,
we
Pierre,
moved in.
here's what you need to do. Do your jar thing. Every day, fill up your jar. At the end of the day, or at the beginning of the next day, take it down to the office.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And,
the
like,
same thing. It's like, when you
hand,
move out,
hand them, get like a shitty Tupperware or something, and just every day, once a week, you know, I don't know. You got time, just whenever
I'll be
you got
perfectly
time.
honest, that was my suggestion too, was just to take it down to the office instead of
Just-
leaving it here.
Every day, or every time you fill up a container, take it down to the office, hand it to the person at the desk, and be like, hey, this is still an issue.
Yeah.
And if they say
But
you
like
don't
a
have
post-it
that
on
many
it that
roaches,
says
just say you're saving
first
it for
deposit.
Yeah.
Second
See, the problem
deposit.
is when you have roaches in your apartment and they won't get rid of them, it's not actually their problem, it's your problem. And then when they're cleaning up your apartment later after you move out, and they decide that the roaches count against your deposit, that's still not their problem, it's your problem.
See,
That one is
here's the thing
pre-marked
against that
on
though,
both
is that he's
teams.
already gotten on record as saying that these are their problem. It's been their problem, they didn't fix it. So it's a continuation of the prior issue.
Yeah, but he can only make that stick if he lawyers up.
Yep.
You realize that a lawyer's not gonna cost anything for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
A
Time
lawyer
is
will.
worth something.
Nah, it's not.
Sorry, here's time. Your time is up.
Nah,
But yeah.
you were right the first time.
Like, they won't come after me for this, purely for the fact that we established that issue, the fact that the floor has fallen apart, and this was supposed to be a newly renovated apartment. Like, before we even came in, the tiling was falling apart. The back walls of the cabinets are cut open, but not, like, properly sealed. So, like, anything can come in through the walls. And our neighbors next door, we could probably get on record for the fact that they've had to bug bomb their apartment.
Alright, so here's what you do.
4 times the dose.
Before you
To get
leave,
rid of their record.
and before anyone else has a chance to move in, just feed the roaches, and then make it their problem.
Just put a lot of peanut butter in the corners.
Put a lot of cardboard boxes out, because roaches love cardboard boxes, and if you have enough
Oh,
out, they will create
I
colonies.
hate this thought.
Yep.
I hate this thought.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Ugh.
Like I said, make it their
Yeah.
problem.
But again, it's not the next people's problem.
No, but
like,
here's the thing.
It's not their fault.
But it won't be the next people's problem, because they will not get a chance to move in, because they cannot.
No one's gonna do a walkthrough beforehand with colonies of roaches and say, "Yeah, we'll take it."
Yeah, and if they do, well, that's on them. then they've decided it's their problem.
Yeah, considering we're stuck in this apartment until I think around next March. So.
Man, COVID might possibly be close to being over by then.
Yeah, which is why I think like an actual walkthrough could actually occur in the apartments again by that point.
So just make sure that you're there if they do any walkthroughs, so that you can be like, oh, by the way, there's roaches everywhere.
That would be splendid. But yeah, that is my current scenario right now. My wife is sick of it. My sister-in-law is screaming about every other hour about finding another roach because she has a phobia. And
yeah, I'm not too fond of them.
I don't know how to control
Hey Dom,
this.
remember that one time that you were at your desk?
God, fuck that. I can't believe I don't have a phobia. Just from that.
What happened?
So I was sitting at my desk, and this was a long time ago, so, I had, I was sitting in my room with, the lights off, and, just, playing games. And, then a roach flew onto my hand that was on the mouse.
Sorry.
No,
I hate that I can one-up that.
It's hilarious.
I don't have anything close to a phobia about this, so this is funny.
Here's the thing, is it's not even, I don't have a phobia, I have a sensory issue, is I don't like the feeling of something crawling on my hand.
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and
it's just, that's one of the things that I'm semi-halfway okay with, random strangers testing my shoulder, that's not okay, I want to kill them. But bugs, whatever, who cares?
Okay, but what about...
Obviously lots of people care, so it's mildly amusing.
Yeah, okay, but hear me out on this. I understand not really caring about bugs. Hear me out on a bug landing on your hand in the dark. That is roughly the size of the back of your hand.
I can probably top that, but it's really bad. I was looking at my desk, probably on a kit, I imagine, because I have part of my memory has been repressed at this point. And I just look down. I'm looking down at my desk space, and something falls off my head, and it's a roach. And
I can still top that.
Tim, do you eat a roach?
Let's hear
No.
it, Tim.
I think Tim ate a roach and he doesn't want to tell us.
I also think this.
Yeah, this is a conspiracy and things about the doctor's story.
No, this
I don't believe
happened
anything
multiple
you're
times
saying.
to me when I was a
multiple
kid living
roaches?
with my parents.
Tim, what the fuck?
No,
Yep. Confirmed.
I never ate
Tim
one.
ate multiple roaches.
They fell on my face while I was asleep.
And you ate them?
Yep.
Why don't you
How
close your
about
mouth when you sleep, Tim? You eat
Tim
so
is
many
the
roaches in your
He's
sleep?
the one that's eating all the roaches in his sleep.
That's who it is. You know, they say like you eat like 3 spiders
Yeah, on average,
every year.
it's
no,
actually-
yeah, no, it's
yeah.
it's just Tim eating hundreds of roaches.
Tim's just the outlier.
The outlier screwing the average.
Yeah. There was a there was a really good study I saw of basically like people were made to like wait in a room for like 15 minutes and do absolutely nothing, but there was a like button you could press that would administer like an electric shock to you. And so the idea was to see if people would prefer bad stimulus to no stimulus.
Hilarious.
And I am so proud
Were
to
they
say...
told beforehand what would happen?
I guess so, but like, they showed an average of like men and women in the study, the average that they pressed the button, and the thing that they had written for it was basically like men press the button on average like 3.7 times, not including one outlier who pressed the button 270 times.
That would be me.
Yeah,
that would be me.
I was just like, that is so funny.
I'd just be like, might as well just keep fucking doing it.
Yeah, because like, same in that I would prefer bad stimulus to no stimulus because my brain.
Not at all. I wouldn't give a shit about the fact that it's bad stimulus. I just do it because it's funny.
Yeah, like I have to imagine that's what happened. And like, it's just so funny. That's the funniest study I've ever heard in my life. It's like, oh yeah, we put a button that shocks you. A guy hit it 200 times in 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be like,
dude,
all right, gotta get the high score on this.
Honestly, I can't. Like, I refuse to believe he pressed it that many times because I can't imagine that he didn't just hold it down the whole time.
Yeah.
Or better yet, that he didn't drain the battery of whatever this was, or overload the charge.
Maybe he kept trying to hold it down, but every time he pressed it, the shock would make him pull back, and so he just kept trying.
Maybe.
So what would happen if there was like 4 or 5 outliers like that?
Yeah,
how much would that skew the result?
It was just like, it was, I don't know, it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I don't know, cause like one person is an outlier. 4 or 5 people? I mean, you might have...
I think at that point you have to write it down because it isn't outliers anymore.
Yeah, it is.
No, but there's something else they could have done with this. What if they'd made it into a cookie clicker?
What could that possibly mean, Ken?
You just have a point. It just goes up a number every time you press it.
But it also shocks you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, yeah, I'm gonna be hammering the button as hard as possible and as quick as possible to see if I can get off the button before I get shocked. I don't know how they're being shocked, by the way. I have not looked into this study. I just remember seeing that and being like, let me look this up and see if this is a thing.
Yeah, I want to believe. I just want the idea that there's gonna be people out there that are gonna just be like going for the highest score of pain.
Yeah, so I like that. Okay, yeah, so I found it on like an article about it on like sciencemag.org and like BBC and like, okay, so this definitely had to have been a real thing. I like that they were basically like, we went into this thinking that it wouldn't really matter because people have so many ways of entertaining themselves, like, you know, just thinking or like
that's what I was
reminiscing.
thinking.
So we assumed this would not really be a thing. But then everyone kept shocking themselves. But here's the
I wonder
thing
what
for
this
me,
button does.
It's like,
I wonder if it still does that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it still does
I was
that.
gonna say, I could see doing it just out of curiosity of like how much is the shock.
Yeah, especially because like I don't have like I can just daydream whenever I want. I don't have a button that
Shock
when
button,
I press it I take damage. Like I have to do that.
Well, like, keep in mind that, like I was trying to say earlier, like, certain people will injure themselves just to, like, experience something. So, like, the idea of lack of stimuli may just feel like, okay, I need to do something, and therefore they will press the button.
I just, like...
Well, that's what they were studying, is what it sounds like. That was the intent of the study, and then this guy was...
And then one dude was just
masochist.
like, God, I just want to fuck it all up.
That is the Dark Souls player.
Oh god, I love that they decided to do, like, they were just like, I guess we could just administer an electric shock? Well, who would want to do that? I mean, I don't know, but that's the point of the test. Alright, cool, we'll try it, even though no one's gonna press it. And they just sit there in their, like, observation room watching this one dude, like, his hair is standing up on end, and they're just like, huh.
No one's gonna press it, huh?
Now I just want to look up, like, articles of weird tests people have, like, like, produced and released and see what, like, the results of these tests were.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new version of the segment. We're not gonna talk about weird Reddit threads anymore. We're just gonna talk about weird scientific studies that actually happen. We're gonna call it Bill Y the Science Guy.
Why?
There was a study of injecting semen under a woman's skin.
Why?
The woman who has an allergy to Brazil nuts developed hives and shortness of breath after intercourse with her boyfriend.
Oh yeah, we know about this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we know about that.
Yeah, all of us know
this
about
is.
What is it?
Yeah, no, this. I mean, I've talked about this multiple times because
Yeah,
this brings up the citrus semen allergy that we haven't done the tests for, but we probably will. But anyways, do you think that the shocking experiment is the best sequel to the Milgram experiments?
To the what experiments?
The Milgram experience.
What the fuck are those?
Experiments. It's the one where experimenter orders the teacher, the subject of the experiment, to give what the teacher believes are painful electric shocks to a learner, who is actually an actor, a Confederate. The subject is led to believe that for each wrong answer, the learner was receiving actual electric shocks, though in reality there were no such punishments. So
what was the point of the study?
It was trying to explain the psychology of genocide and whether or not people will just follow orders with something that's directly punishing someone painfully.
Yeah, I already know for a fact that if that was me in my position, I would do everything in my power to try to lead them to the correct answers and to, like, in my head, try to figure out how to make their wrong answer sound correct enough to not administer a shock.
Yeah. The problem is that the learner is
part
an
of
actor.
the study.
They're a part of the stutter.
I don't think you understand how much I try to not, like, care about.
No, the question is like 2 plus 3, and they're like 7, and you're like, I mean, if you add another 2 in there, I mean, that's pretty much that, yeah.
Exactly, or just be like, well, let's talk about how we got to that answer.
This sounds like the same way, like, that one actor who got replaced by Don Cheadle in Iron Man ended up believing that 1 plus 1 could equal 3.
Hey, you know, it can if you do some really funky math.
I mean, it can't, because that's not how math is, even though people try to tell me it is, but I don't listen to them. And that's why I would receive an electric shock. Also because I pressed the button.
We would all press the button. I'm reading about this study back in 1962 where they gave elephants a ton of LSD.
They really like to give just people buckets of LSD.
Yeah.
It really seems to be. The idea of buckets of LSD just sounds so interesting, but it was 97 milligrams of LSD, which is 3,000 times the amount of a typical human dose.
I mean,
Well, it's an
elephants are
elephant.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Why? Like there's so many scientific studies that you're just like, but why would you do that? And I just assume the scientist is like, why do we do
I
that?
don't know. I wanted to give a hand job to a dolphin that I've been smoking pot with.
Okay, that one's a little different. That was not the basis of the study.
Hey, I think the study confirmed that humans and dolphins can in fact live together.
But only if you're okay with your partner being a little too insistent on hand jobs.
Apparently, elephants are highly sensitive to LSD and should not be fed.
No shit! Fucking everything is! What are you fucking- what are they talking about?
Listen, I'm not the one who came up with this study. They just did it. This is 1962.
Yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Everyone knows elephants never forget, which means if they have a bad trip, that's with them forever.
I mean, isn't that how LSD trips are? You can just have flashbacks at any point.
But pretty much, it's pretty much the
it fucks up. With
elephant reacted as if it would been stung, like we would react to being stung by a bee. Then,
oh, it cried?
Ran around the pen for a good few minutes and then keeled over right there.
Poor thing.
Did it die?
Yeah, it died.
Wow.
They tried to bring it back to life. They tried to resuscitate it, but they just could not succeed.
Yeah, probably because it had fucking too much LSD in it.
Yeah.
You should generally try to figure out what the LD50 for something is before you inject it with 1/3 of a gram of it.
Yeah.
It's weird that they didn't work up to that amount.
Yeah,
like they just
I feel like they
picked
should have
one.
started with a human amount
Yeah.
at max.
Yeah, they were like,
and then worked up from there.
they were just like, we don't know if elephants are more or less resistant than humans. Let's start with a dose for 7 elephants.
Also, it affects your brain. I don't think an elephant's brain is like 30,000 times larger than a human.
Yeah, like its body isn't even that much bigger than a human.
Yeah.
Its body isn't even that much bigger than a human brain.
But it is much
I'll speak for yourself. I have the smoothest brain in existence. No wrinkles here.
highly polished.
Yeah. Iron.
I mean, I can iron your brain. Just
iron
bring
the
your brain
man.
over. I will take the iron and just mash you with it. I looked up the Terrence Howard's Teriology, is language and logic. The previous war machine.
Language of logic is just like hands and or, right?
Yeah, Boolean.
Yeah. Well, there's also
with
X and
regards
XOR.
to
Also Boolean.
with regards to 1 times 1 equals 2, he quote, "How can it equal 1? If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be."
No, it's not. It's
Correct. The square root of 2 is not. Yeah, it's 1.4.
It's 1.414 or something something something.
Fucking nerds. I can do square roots of things that are themselves squared.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't do it in my head. I just happened to know some of that because it was important in school at one point. I don't really remember why I know it. I think it's just 1.414 is a nice pattern because it's 1414. So it's just stuck with me.
It's important in trig.
Yeah, I don't really remember anything about trig.
You remember that?
Yeah, that's
I
it.
remember Sakatoa.
For a literal second, I was like, I think it's pronounced Sacagawea, and then I just realized what the fuck we were talking about, and I'm like, I just need to sit down and not think about what just happened.
Sine is opposite over hypotenuse.
I also don't think it's
Cosine
pronounced
is
Sacagawea.
adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent.
Yep.
Sakatoa.
Sine is Googleable. Cosine is also Googleable.
And tangent, you might have to go through to Wolfram Alpha, which you can find through
Via
Google.
Yeah. But hey, it's not like we're gonna be carrying Google around in our pocket for the rest of our life. Thanks, teachers. Love how often that one got said.
Or calculators.
What happens? Yeah, what happens when your phone dies? Then I probably won't need to know the thing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I carry a charger. You can have portable chargers now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what if your charger's dead? Then I probably still won't need to know
then I'm
the
at
sign
home.
of this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. If I am in a life or death scenario, then I also don't need to know what the tangent is.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's valuable to know.
Yeah, but like, it's
something.
valuable to know it if it's a thing that you're gonna be doing as a job every day for your life, but not for like the average person.
Well, the actual reason to learn it in school is to learn how to learn things and learn how to memorize things. And
Yeah, but I already learned how to do that. in other
explore
classes.
different types of things.
The big reason
what
to
I
learn
think,
trigonometry is so that geometry sticks in your head.
I don't know anything about geometry either, Tim.
How many sides does a triangle have?
Tim, that doesn't
7.
require knowing cosine.
But that's not necessary for knowing geometry.
Also, I knew about that before
Tim,
I took
Tim,
geometry.
I knew about how many sides a triangle had before I went to school.
Yeah.
I didn't need trigonometry to know how many sides.
I appreciate your quick answer and your desire to like help answer things, but that was not a good example.
No, it wasn't.
I think that like some of those things should, you know, I think it's important to learn how to learn. I think that's very important. I think there's 1,000 other things that we should be learning so that we can learn how to learn instead.
Yeah, I don't
learning
think
how to
learning
learn
how
is-
to learn should be part of an AP class. I think at that point you should have already learned how to learn.
I mean, trig wasn't even necessarily AP.
No, but it
Trig
could
and
have been.
Algebra 2.
Which is my point.
But the problem then is
I think
most
at
classes
the
that
point where you're doing that, you should be learning other things like home ec or
yeah, taxes.
the way taxes work and
Yeah. Shop.
the
Literally
basics of
anything that
cooking.
we don't learn anymore.
Or how to sew. Like, how many people still, like, do you think still know how to sew that are our age?
Yeah, like I'm.
Hi.
I do. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, but like that's the
We-
thing is like we like a lot of us are like self-taught on how to do that because it was not taught to us.
I got tired of hand sewing things, so we got a sewing machine last year for Christmas. I hate sewing.
Yep.
The sewing
We were
machine
like,
makes it
"Oh,
easier,
if we
but
get
it's
a
still
sewing machine,
awful.
We can make all these things. That'll be cool and stuff. And I did a significant amount of sewing in like middle school, so I thought I remembered it being fun. Turns out it was just the fact that it was sewing camp and we sewed ball gowns and then like actually learned dances from the time period, and
Yeah.
that was fun.
And
it
it was
wasn't
like
actually the drudgery of sewing that was fun.
yeah, and like when you learn it, you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you go to like do it now that you already
it's
know it.
exciting and it's different, and
Yeah,
now just doing it is just, oh my goodness, is this over yet?
Yeah, the most I've done with I've sewed. I can sew button on things. I can sew patches on things. I can fix holes.
Yeah.
I've torn my pockets so many times and fixed them
And you can hem.
and I can hem. But like, I don't need to. I mean, I made a bunch of we both made a bunch of masks together at the beginning of the pandemic last year because they were impossible to find. So
Yeah.
So we had scrap cloth. I made masks.
That's
But no, I
resourceful.
would not. I would not want to.
But we did not then proceed to make like hundreds and hundreds of masks like some people we saw on Facebook.
Well, you know,
Which,
those were
good
looking
for those people.
a quick
Yes.
buck.
I appreciate those people. They
Yeah.
were not us.
The problem with teaching people how to learn is that a lot of teachers just take that as a license to be really lazy for that class. Like, the last time I had a professor who said, "I'm not here to teach you, I'm here to teach you how to learn," he would say that at some point in every class and then spend the next half hour complaining about how he was too good for this job and he used to be an important person. And then
That
everyone,
sounds like a personal
half the
problem.
people in the class failed that class, and the people who advanced failed the next class.
I mean, that's because he didn't teach them the stuff required for the next class. He just taught them how to learn the stuff required for the next class.
He didn't even teach that.
He was just
It was supposed to be a programming class. He was supposed to teach us C++. He taught us Unix.
Oh, that sounds like a physics teacher I had.
Your physics teacher taught you Unix?
One of my physics teacher would go on tangents about things that were unrelated to what was necessary for us to learn. So he would make everything sound fascinating, but we had no idea what it meant or how it applied to anything we were supposed to be learning.
I mean, my discrete mathematics teacher talked endlessly about the different versions of D&D and how much she liked each one.
Yeah, but she was a cool
and
teacher.
which ones were particularly best. But I also learned all of discrete mathematics and passed that class with an A.
She was good.
And I didn't even do any of the homework because I'm a bad student.
But a good learner.
Well, she was a good teacher.
Yeah.
In high school, we did have that one physics teacher who was a chiropractor.
My favorite thing about him is when we learned about, like, when we got through to, like, some physics, and he was like, listen, there's, like, 7 branches of physics, and I have to teach you all of them. And everybody's bad at least one of them, because it's impossible to be good at all 7. So please don't ask me any questions about thermodynamics, because I don't know.
Nice.
And everyone's like, I mean, that's fair. Like, it's, even as a teacher, it's impossible to be, like, really good at all of them. So I get it. But also, I need to pass your test, please.
Did he make the test?
Yes, and also, he was good because of stuff like that, he graded on a, I think it was a square root curve, which is, you take the square root of your score and then multiply that by 10. So a 49 was passing because that makes a 70.
Favorite curve of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. It de-stressed me enough that I learned a lot more, I think, from that than I did, or like, I was much easier to learn things because I wasn't stressed all the time. I think the AP version of that class, or the next one was a square root curve plus 10 because it was significantly harder. So I think a 36 was considered passing. And some people still didn't necessarily pass every test because they're hard.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Physics was fun. I liked AP or Lego. That was a fun class.
AP Lego was good.
Did you say AP Lego?
Yep.
Yes, AP Lego.
In that school, there was like post AP classes, which was basically like, this is like the capstone of that science that you're learning. And so in that one, or in the physics section, it was basically applied science to the form of like engineering, which was done via using the Lego robotics kits to like make robots.
The actual name of the course was Post AP Advanced Physics and Robotics.
Yeah, but everyone called it AP Lego because you go away with it.
NXT.
Yep.
That was a fun class.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all use NXT or Mindstorms?
Mindstorms.
NXT.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I used Mindstorms in middle school. We definitely used NXT
Okay.
in that class.
Maybe I don't remember what Mindstorm was then.
Mindstorm is the yellow brick.
Oh, okay. So they're both bricks then. That's probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NXT is the white brick.
There's a new one now.
I think part of the reason you have such fond memories of that class is because you and Ray stole all the pieces from everyone else's kits and used them to make your own awesome robots, and none of the rest of us had anything to work with.
No, I mean, our robots usually lost. I specifically remember one person who, for the wrestling robot or whatever it's called, the
Sumo bot.
Yeah, the Sumo bot. They just made theirs as heavy as was allowed, and then no one could beat them.
Wait, weren't you and
No.
Ray teamed up?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that was definitely Ray's team that did that.
Yeah, no, that was not me, unfortunately, because we had to fight them in the first round and we lost.
Yeah, we fought them in the second.
Good times!
They just made the heaviest thing they could that was just a ramp that drives around the map.
Yeah.
It drives around the arena. So that unless you came at it from the side, there was no way to
And if you
kill
did
the
come
thing.
at it from the side, you weren't gonna move it.
Yeah.
So
Or
what
and
they
like
really need
you
to
weren't
do
gonna
is just
flip
make
it.
a circular ramp, and then just
Harder to do. With,
They didn't have the
regular
pieces
games.
for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they make those flying saucer circular ramp pieces.
Yes, they do now. 10 years ago, they didn't make those, and also those weren't in the standard issue
They
kits we were given.
did 10 years. They absolutely did those 10 years.
But they were not in the standard issue kits that we were getting. What if we just brought in our own pieces?
I think you should.
Now, Tim, I think the reason I have fond memories of that class is because we got to use cool Legos and like not take tests. Like there were tests and stuff, but like, boy, was it a lot more fun and engaging. Hello.
Yeah, the test was make this robot work.
Yeah. You score based on how long you stay in the ring. Okay, so the first round went bad because one person had a very heavy robot and these other two people's robot lost in half a second. So maybe we should rethink this.
I'm still mad because for the final exam in that course was actually a final project. I was teamed up with Ray. Well, no, you were on my team. You remember this.
Probably.
Maybe.
Continue.
So the three of us came up with FKN Robotics, which was re-lettered to NFK because obvious reasons. We made a sentry robot, basically, that drives around and shoots things when it sees something.
Yeah.
It required 2 brains for that because it was relatively complex and we were bad at optimizing.
Yeah.
And the brains had to talk to each other. The night before, the day before, we had the thing working and, it was going to get a passing grade. The night before, without telling anyone, Ray updated the software on one of the brains, but not the other, to patch something.
Yeah, I do remember.
So, presentation day came around, and we turned the thing on, and it had a seizure, fell over, and started shooting at the judges. We got a bing.
Yeah, good enough.
Alright. You had a good stopping point?
I will be in a second. I mean, just finish this one. Slash 90 probably.
Yeah, Nicole had a lot of fun.
It is very fun. I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers, which is the Persona 5
Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah.
Honestly, from the sound of it, I would expect it to be a soccer game.
That's only because of Mario Strikers. So it is a good game in theory, and I think it's still good, but I am sad about it because it's not a Warriors game. They kind of said it was and stuff, and then instead of going around a field where there's thousands of enemies, you run into an enemy, and then there's 50. So it's Warriors Light. And they also wanted to keep a lot of the Persona stuff, which isn't inherently bad. But John, I have a question for you. When you're doing real-time combat, imagine for example, Fire Emblem Warriors, that was a thing. If we think about fighting using the Fire Emblem system, that's a decent amount of like weapons slash elements you have to keep track of, right?
Yeah.
Persona 5 has 10 elements. And you have to keep track of them in real time.
No.
Also, one of the elements is just gun.
That's an
The
element.
only true.
What beats gun?
So here's the thing, they don't necessarily beat each other. It's that every enemy is weak or resistant or neutral to the, like, each element. So, it's not about every enemy being, or it's not about like, oh, this enemy is using an axe, so I should use a sword. It's, oh, this enemy is weak to fire. I have to know that in order to know to do extra damage. Also, each character besides your main character can only do like physical and gun and then one of the other 8 elements.
Huh.
So hope you brought the one in battle that is strong against that person. Let's see. It's physical, gun, fire, ice, wind, electric, bless, and dark, I think they call it. And nuclear and psionic. Oh yeah, bless and curse, that's it.
I don't want to play this game.
Nope.
Like, it was already a lot to keep track of in just, like, Persona 5.
Yeah.
And then they decided, what if it was real time? And you're just like, oh, I'm good, actually.
Oh yeah, Tim, the Lego circular ramp pieces came out 24 years ago.
John...
Yes, it has taken me this long to find.
Did one of your relatives work on those pieces and you just are so proud that you just really want it known?
No, it was one of my favorite sets of all time, where it was this, like, Lego alien mothership, and it, like, had several parts that came off of it.
Are you corralling me downstairs? Are you saying that stream should be over? What are you, John?
Yes. Yes, stream should be over.
Fine, my puppy wants me to go downstairs, so I will.
I'm not.
Or she wants to go to bed, who knows? She makes the decisions around here, not me.
You're
well,
whipped.
thanks everyone for coming.
Starting to sound like a pet owner.
Alright, bye everyone!
Bye.